Dear
Madame la
Joe,
Première Dame,
Madam First Lady,
Dr. Jill Biden,
Dr. Jim
I
Biden,
want to reassure you it's just a toast and not a speech, so I will be very short. Mesdames et Messieurs, chers amis, en vos grâces
dear
et qualités,
friends,
mon épouse et moi-même
my
sommes
wife
très
and myself
honorés
are very honored
de vous avoir l'un et l'autre aujourd'hui
to be
à
hosting
l'Élysée avec
today
l'ensemble de vos délégations
with all of your delegation
et tous nos invités, car
and
toutes
all
les
of our
fois
guests.
qu'Américains et Français sont
Every
réunis ensemble
time
autour
there's an occasion
d'une
to
même table
celebrate
de
that brings
fête,
together Americans and
il y plane une sorte
French
d'esprit
people,
de
the
1776
spirit of 1776
qui appelle
is
le
never
meilleur
far,
dans le pays.
conjuring what is best in
Et
both of
cette
our
chaleur
countries.
venue des
These
profondeurs
warm
historiques de
feelings,
notre amitié
born of a long and deep friendship,
s'avive par la joie toute
is
contemporaine
further
d'accueillir ce
enhanced
soir
by
votre première
the
visite
joy
d'État
today
en
of
France,
hosting you today for your first official state visit
avec
to
un
France.
agréable air de déjà vu,
With a very pleasant
car
feeling
il y a
of
un an
déjà
et
vu.
demi,
Indeed, a year and a half ago, you were hosting me in Washington
en décembre
in
2022,
December
témoignant de
2022,
proximité et intérêt
thus
réciproque
demonstrating
amitié
through
ralliée
regular
de tous.
visits
Et cette année
how close we
2024,
are in the
plus
reciprocal
amoureuse
interests of our
de la
countries.
relation
And this
entre nos
year,
deux pays,
2024,
quelque chose
for
de
all
particulier.
people who are attached to the
Parce qu'en effet,
Franco-American relationship,
le
there is
sang
something special to
de
celebrate
sacrifice réciproque
because there is a
pour
reciprocal
notre
sacrifice
indépendance
for
et
our
notre
independence,
liberté.
for our freedom.
En effet, cette année, le
Indeed,
200e anniversaire de la
this
tournée
year,
d'adieu
we
américaine
will
marquée
celebrate
de
the
Lafayette.
200th anniversary of the
Héros
farewell
de la Révolution
tour
américaine duquel il
of the
sait
Marquis de Lafayette, a hero of the American Revolution. I know that he is close to
mais
the hearts
aussi
of all
le
Americans.
80e
We
anniversaire
also
des
commemorate the
débarquements
80th
Normandie
anniversary of the
de
landings
Provence.
in Normandy and
Et nous
in
étions
Provence.
alors côte à côte,
We stood side by side,
comme nous étions il y a 2 jours côte à côte en Normandie pour les
then, as we
cérémonies
did 2 days ago in Normandy for
pour
the
nous
ceremonies on
recueillir
June
dans la
6,
paix
to bow our
de
heads
Colville. Et nous
in the
remémorer
peaceful
le
cemetery of
face à la
Colville
plage
to remember
Omaha,
their courage
Omaha la sanglante,
on the Omaha Beach, Omaha the Bloody, where so many of your
pour
countrymen
un pays dont
gave
ils
their
n'avaient jamais
lives
fait
for a country that they had never been to
Nous
before.
n'oublierons aucun de ces héros
Never will we forget
qui, de la
these heroes
Normandie à Berlin,
who, from
aidèrent à
Normandy to
libérer un
Berlin,
continent et
helped to
notre
free a
pays.
continent in our
Et leur
country.
sacrifice
Their
ciment
sacrifice
notre amitié.
has cemented our friendship.
Parmi ces héros, il y
Amongst
avait
these
un jeune
heroes,
homme
there was
qui
a young
s'appelait
man,
Harold Terence.
Harold Terrence.
Il avait 18 ans au moment
He was
de Pearl
18
Harbor.
when
Et à 20
Pearl
ans,
Harbor
il
happened.
était opérateur radio et
At the age of
transmetteur
20, he was a radio operator
auprès de vos forces aériennes.
working with your Air Force.
Il était à son poste pour le guider.
He was at his duty post on D-Day, and then the war led him everywhere in France, in Morocco, and all the way to Ukraine. Today, Harold has chosen our country to marry Jan Swaring. They are with us today, and they are just making their marriage vows. So let us congratulate the young newlyweds.
Merci. Gracias. J'ai un verre, c'est quelque chose. J'ai un verre pour le thé. Dans 2 minutes. «
40 ans étaient heureux d'accueillir votre mariage et nous, votre dîner de
We're
noces.
very pleased to be here for your wedding repast. Now, on this foundation, so many relations have developed from cinema to music, from literature to space, from energy
Passant par les transports, l'agriculture,
to transport, agriculture, and health.
tant de partenariats
So many partnerships
consolident cette relation.
that have served to consolidate our bilateral relationship and that we have further strengthened recently. It's also this relationship that make it possible to affirm our values faced with the war of aggression by Russia and Ukraine, or today in the Middle East, in Gaza. And once again, thank you for the initiative that you have just taken and that we support to be united in spite of our differences when the main values are at stake. This is what is our lie across the Atlantic.
Défendre nos valeurs.
When it comes to defending our values, we stand together. So, of course, there's something a bit special in our relationship because you are, well, you're American, we are French. And there's something of a mutual fascination you find from Tocqueville all the way to Miller, or indeed in our respective film industries. We love the American dream, and you like the French art de vivre, the French lifestyle. And we tend to be maybe defending our singularities, but we love each other for what we are. And this applies to each and every one of us. And when we see the affection that you have for France, the way in which you've been prepared to attend the Olympic and Paralympic Games, I can see that more than ever you remain your best allies, united. You stand divided before. This is enshrined in the very name of your country. This should be the philosophy that should inspire us, that inspired the greatest generation to which you paid tribute yesterday at Pointe du Hoc. And indeed, that is what binds us together today. We are allies. We will remain allies. And these are the values which 80 years down the road keep us together. And this is why, Mr. President, dear Joe, dear Jill, it is such an honor to have you here in France on the occasion of this state visit. That is an opportunity to celebrate the untrammeled vitality of our alliance and this very special relationship between our two nations and indeed our love for freedom. If I may, I would like to propose a toast to the United States of America, to France, and indeed to the friendship between the United States and France.
Mr. President, Brigitte, distinguished guest, you know, one of the things that's been a legend in my family is my middle name is Robinet. And allegedly, I've been told by my grandfather that this was established. I've not found it yet. Maybe someone could help me. That I'm a son of the American Revolution because Robinette came over with Lafayette and never went home. He stayed in the United States. So that makes me a son of the American Revolution. And but I haven't been able to establish that yet. So maybe one of your genealogists can figure it out for me. Look, France is our first ally, and that's not insignificant. The fact of the matter is you were with us to help us secure our freedom, and we're with you 170 years later, excuse me, to do the same. And ever since, we've remained united, unyielding, as well as unwavering in our partnership. That's what democracies do. That has been an extraordinary week here for us, for Jill and me. It's just been amazing to be here. I've been here a number of times over the years. I know I don't look it, but I'm only 40 years old. But all kidding aside, I've been here many times. But this has been the most remarkable trip that I've ever made. Together, we celebrated D-Day, the heroes of D-Day. Told the story of the alliance and how together we saved Europe. And the people of France, and to you too personally, honored our veterans with such warmth and dignity. On behalf of all the American people, we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our heart. I mean it. When the American troops came to these shores 80 years ago on an audacious mission to save the continent, they each carried a book given to them by the U.S. military. And the book was called A Pocket Guide to France. Seriously. It included helpful hints like this: no bragging, French don't like it. No joke. Be generous. It won't hurt you. Avoid controversial topics, even if you took French in high school. And try to follow at least one. I tried my best to follow at least one of those. But, and then it said, the French are allies who, quote, happen to speak democracy in a different language. And we democracies aren't just doing favors. We're fighting for each other. When history gets through, we all are in the same boat, end of quote. France and the United States have always been there for one another. We stand together when the going gets tough, and that's a fact. We stand together to defend the values that lie at the soul, the very soul of both our nations. And I believe that to be the case today. Liberty, equality, brotherhood. Generation after generation, people across both our nations have upheld these ideals because they know when we stand as one, our countries are stronger and literally the world is safer. Emmanuel, you've heard me say it before. We stand at an inflection point in history. The decisions we make now will determine the course of our future for decades to come. We have a lot of opportunity, but a lot of responsibility. And it gives me hope to know France and the United States stand together now and always. Or as the pocket guide to France given to the invading Americans might say, we're rowing in the same boat. Ladies and gentlemen, to France, the United States, and to our people, may we continue to seek democracy, may we in both our languages, and may we always stay together. It's been a great honor to be here, and I want to thank you. I'm going to raise my glass to France.